If you already know what morphology is and feel like taking on a challenge, then please ignore all of this. This will mildly spoil the first bit of the game. If you stuck around, then I'm going to get into how this works. This is a screenshot of one of the first texts you can get, which is a sort of sketchbook page that you find. And the game generates a new language each time you play, so this won't look like this when you fire it up. But I'm just going to explain how you can make some progress and work things out. If you look at this page, we've got 3 pictures that involve birds, the top left, the bottom left, and the one in the bottom in the middle. And you can see we've got BZ phi, Fang phi, and phi ta. What do all of these 3 have in common? Well, the morpheme phi. So from these pictures, you can work out what the morpheme for bird is. You can work out that it must be phi. And then the 2 on the left are both just one bird, but in the middle at the bottom, we've got multiple birds. It's reasonable to assume that ta maybe marks plurality, so phi ta is probably bird and then plural marker. That gives you a little bit of a start. Whenever you see ta, you know you're dealing with plurality. Whenever you see phi, you know you're dealing with the word for bird. And then when you pick up other texts, you can maybe work out what the BZ and what the Vang bits of those 2 birds on the left mean. And then this is a second example with maybe the first 2 texts you might pick up in the game, the map, and with that sketchbook page. And you can see in this one, we've got Pasfe Saf, Shasaf, and Temp Saf for the 3 birds on the sketchbook page. And then on the map, there's a lot of things that say Sha. It does seem like Sha is the plural marker for this one. But also, if we worked out that Saf is the morpheme for bird, then if you look at the map, then here, where there's this little sort of cross in a box that says Telt Saf. So that probably means something to do with birds. So if you go and have a look at that on the map, you might be able to infer what Telt means. And then this is an example of a harder one to work out. It will generate a random language. That means that plurality can be marked in a number of different ways. And this is one where it's marking it in a more unusual way. If you're just used to English, this one might seem tricky. If you look at the birds, you can see we've got Sespe Fent, Tesfent, and Vent. And so Fent seems to be the morpheme for bird, but then when we look at the birds in the middle at the bottom, we get Vent instead. So what's going on? But we know from the other ones, and we know from the fact there's more than one of them, that this is probably plural. In this case, it's voicing that marks plurality. So F is an unvoiced sound, whereas V is voiced. So F, V, are the same sound, except V, your voice box vibrates as you make the fricative, and then carries on into the vowel. But in F, your voice box doesn't vibrate until it gets to the vowel. So this one looks harder and stranger, but it is really basically a logic puzzle. As long as you notice differences and try and work out what things are, you'll be fine. If you get stuck, I have made a hints page also on itch, where if you want the next hint, you can click and it will reveal a bit, in the hope that that's not spoiling things too much.